What is going on, guys? We are going to talk about drawing hands today. Fortunately, each of you guys hopefully has 1-2 hands. We are not going to be doing tracing hands like a kindergartner or a first grader. We are going to actually try to look at our hands and draw them. First, we're going to start with some basics. Really what we need to know is we have a circle here on our palm. So we have pretty much a circle right here. And then with that circle, it is connected to 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers. We are not going to talk about the thumb when we're initially drawing this shape. So we're going to draw a circle to start. And that's what we're going to think of as our palm area right here. And then we are going to, at the widest point, make a line up. Widest point, make a line up. That is going to be pretty much here and here off of that circle. The thumb is going to come off that a little later. We're going to think about where our knuckles go. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And if we look, it does not make a flat line. It makes like an arc. So think about that arc. That arc is kind of a continuation of the circle, the top of that circle palm. So we're going to make an arc, and then we're going to make another arc up here for our fingertips. 1, 2, 3, 4. So then we have 4 fingers there. So we're going to make 4 even marks. 1, 2, 3, 4. So our hand is going to go up. We want to think about the connection where our fingers meet. It is not like this. It's not like this. It is more down than up. It almost makes like a little bit of a V. Very little gap in between them. So we're gonna think about that lack of a gap. In general, also our fingers start wide and then they get skinnier. Some people have a slight bulge where the knuckle is, but that is gonna be roughly the only place that our finger would get any larger. So then we have the beginning of our hand. We have our 4 fingers. Then we want to think about where our thumb connects, how it connects. So if this is our circle right here, that thumb is kind of coming off the bottom of that circle. So we're going to come off the bottom of the circle. We also want to think about how tall our thumb is. So from here, where our thumb attaches, up to here. We want to go about the halfway point, which is right about here. So just below that, that's going to be that guideline for where our thumb is going to go up to. So it is going to be one part there, one part there. That's where that thumb connection should start. Also, when we look at our thumb, it bends outward a little bit, usually. If it's bending at all, it will very rarely bend inward. And even when it does bend inward, it still has a little bit of that curvature to it. So we're gonna make it go up. Then we have a very basic hand shape. And when I am giving you guys this, I really want you guys to practice drawing hands for the entirety of your class. Soon you should be able to do it really quickly. This is like 4-minute video, but I want you guys to just be able to think hand, lines, think about how long your fingers are in relation to that palm. They are not quite as long as the palm itself. Actually, it almost looks like a 1-to-1, but not quite. So 1, a little bit taller. Remember, it has to have that curvature to it. Once you get good enough, you might not necessarily have to continue making all your marks. If you do, that's fine. Other things to think about. Think about curvature here. Looks like there's a little bit of extra skin there as opposed to where that circle would be. You can always look at your hand, make different shapes. If you're ready to actually draw different shapes, look at the parts you see versus the parts you don't. Figure out basic ideas of where your hand is going to be. So if you were making a fist, kind of be that circle. And then we would have a thumb here. And then bent fingers there. So we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of bends inward. You can make fingernails, all that stuff. That's not really super important. We are more concentrating on actually just being able to do a decent hand. Think about it in terms of Malcolm Gladwell. Remember the 10,000 hour rule? 10,000 hours of working on something to become the top 1%, become an expert at it, regardless if you're Michael Jordan playing basketball or somebody composing symphonies or being a chess master or getting really good at writing and reading or drawing a hand. So I want 1 page covered in hands, and that is going to be your grade, the index card at the beginning of class with a hand on it. The entire page covered in different hands. There should be 15 or 20, depending on how long you're working on these, and I want to see some marked improvement. One thing to be sure of, common mistakes. Some people try to draw that circle, and then they just kind of throw fingers in like that. We don't want a big lump hanging off, because then it's going to be a weird looking hand. That hand, yeah. Do I have this weird bulbous thing here? No. Another thing, people just kind of drawing fingers wherever they go. That might work for like a cartoon or something like that, but we're trying to make them a little bit more realistic. Is it going to be photorealistic? No. Just try. Hand. Remember the arc. So it's going to arc, tip, 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 tip. We don't want it to be completely flat at the top. Try working on some hands. Sorry I couldn't be there today. I may be here at the end of class. I will talk to you guys later.